Welcome to The Rear View with your hosts, Kathy King and Jackie Fisher, with special guests, Kathy Fountain, Alice Whitehead, and Reva Richardson. Today, Traveling Travesties, how a 2-day journey nearly took a week and almost stole my sanity. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the hosts of The Rear View, Kathy King and Jackie Fisher.
Welcome to The Rear View. My name is Kathy King. This is Kathy Fountain. This is Reva McIntyre. Oh no, Reva Richardson. I know her well. We're very close. This is my friend Jackie Fisher, and this is my friend Alice Whitehead. That's her.
And we're the...
Okay, so we're going to tell our false teeth story. It's a quickie.
I love
We're
this
driving down the road and everything, and of course this was back when we were both going to church at the time, so we weren't going to be flirting with guys going down the road, of course. So we're driving along, and these guys, they keep kind of coming up, checking us out. Hey, baby! Yeah, and we were younger then, we were like, oh, rather. So finally they kept kind of doing it, so then Jackie, you don't want to do it now, right?
Oh, no, not right now.
She used to be really cool about taking her teeth out and laughing and stuff, but anyway.
She got proud.
We got proud.
Was that what your come on for guys is you took out your teeth?
Well, that time.
She takes out her teeth and what's happening, baby? And these guys go, well, look at that. And we just laugh.
Just about did it, huh?
Yeah, just about did it. And you used to whip them out when we was in the back of the truck. She used to do it a lot of time.
I did. And now
funny comments.
And my grandchildren say, Nanny, take out your teeth, Nanny. No, I'm not taking out my teeth.
And when she first got them taken out, she had to go down to the credit union and get some money out. What do you tell about that? She couldn't talk because my tooth was gone, and all swollen, no teeth.
What's your husband's name? Freud. Who? Freud. Freud Fisher. They couldn't understand me, and I got really mad.
Oh, funny.
So did you write it down?
I was going to say we probably handed
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, she blacked out.
Please tell us
after
the intelligent enough to hand you paper.
Wow.
Meanwhile, where do you go from here? Where do we start? You want to start?
Well, I think we'll start when I first met you. And don't correct me because then it sounds like I'm telling a lie.
Well, you
And I
are.
don't lie.
She's a filthy liar, and the truth is not in her.
Yeah.
And we don't know which one to
Now with
believe.
that disclaimer aside.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, I had gotten back with my first husband. I have to keep this straight. There's a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, anyway, first husband, and I had started going to church, and so I was hoping he would, get in with the church people and everything and let all this other kind of life behind. So we moved into this little house, and it was like, March? We'd gone through the whole winter, didn't know really anybody on the block and stuff, and it was starting to be kind of spring. There was a fire down the road. So we're looking outside, and here comes these two hippies. And Butch had this long hair, and here comes Jackie, pregnant, long hair, and he goes, oh, look, there's a young couple. Oh, my God. I go, you don't want to meet these dirty hippies. And so the one dirty hippie was Jackie.
But I wasn't dirty.
Well, I just said dirty hippie because, that was what we called them.
But she was a hippie before she had found the Lord.
And got cleaned up.
And got cleaned up.
So I knew about dirty hippies.
Nothing.
But this was 33 years ago when
Yeah.
we met.
Yeah.
And through the years, there's been a lot of changes in our friendship, and a lot of different things happen, come, go, back in and out of each other's lives, but always friends. You want to say that, and we'll be friends till we die.
And she'd always find me. She should look for Osama bin Laden. I mean, I moved. How many times did I move when I was in California? No forwarding address, no phone number. Most of the time I was like staying with someone else.
She found it.
She'd
I
find
find
me.
it.
She would find me.
And I go, I am not a bad penny you can get rid of.
I will find you. I will hunt you down. Yeah. So anyway, before I moved to California, things weren't going really good in Michigan. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go back to California and start a new life. So I get around and I take out off to California, and I lost a son. So then I'm very devastated. This is like a month into the trip to California. So I'm really devastated and didn't deal well with it. Didn't have really any support. Jackie's in Michigan, so all this stuff. So I started taking amphetamines. And I thought, this is the best thing since sliced bread. As bad as I feel, if I do a little line of crank, is what it was called, I can get up and function and go to work, and I can maintain. So I did this for a while, and then as the years kind of went on, I found more and more that it kind of backfires. And plus, you have to, the more that you do it, the more that you need it. And then the more that you need it, the more money you gotta have. Well, so it got to where I had peaked out. I had peaked out probably about after 6 or 7 years. I don't look quite as bad as some of the things on TV look, just because I couldn't afford to look that bad. But I don't know. What do you think I weighed?
Maybe 105, 110 pounds.
Yeah,
Pretty
110
soon.
is probably at the max. Yeah, and I weighed like
She's not going to tell you what she
well,
was.
somewhere in the 150 ballpark.
Oh my God.
Because muscle weighs more than fat, so that's part of it. So anyway, I was pretty much just at the end of my rope, really. Just had nothing. I was totally hopeless. I was just couldn't hardly hold. I worked a little temporary here and there, and was just.
But I have to tell you that while she was out there, her worst nightmare, I mean, she actually had a nightmare living in California,
Oh, yeah.
that when she woke up, it was just like, oh, what a nightmare. She had dreamed that she had moved back to Michigan.
That
Because when I first moved to California, I thought, it was like November, December, and I remember laying on this chaise lounge with some kind of beverage. I don't know. It could have been iced tea. But anyway, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, why did I ever leave California? Because I was originally from California. And I just loved it. You get caught up in the weather. And then after a while, nothing else kind of matters. It's all about the weather. And yeah, I would dream that I had come back here, and it was just, oh, because when I did live here, I mean, the cold and the lack of money, and I just hated Michigan. So I never thought I would ever come back here.
This is really California.
Huh?
This is really California. It's not Michigan.
Cool! So Jackie calls me. Well, she had come out to visit me one time, and we had a nice time. She was in the middle of her nervous breakdown, so she didn't have as much fun. We do something, all of a sudden, crying all the time.
Well, I don't know. One time when I had no idea when I went out there that Kathy had come to the lifestyle that she had come, and I was still going to church. And so I was a little amazed and surprised at what had come into her life. And we went to Mexico
Oh,
with
yeah.
her boyfriend. And there was beer cans, all open beer cans, empty, all over the back seat of the floor.
What are you doing in Tijuana?
What? So her boyfriend is driving, and he's driving down the wrong way on a one-way street, and along comes the police, whoop, whoop, and pulls us over. Well, if you ever hear stories about being stopped in Mexico, and I just can live my whole life in one moment, and I was in jail, never getting out again. I was over.
Oh, this guy was really mean. Because we said, well, blah, blah, we're trying to talk our way out of it. And he goes, do you drink in the United States in your car? No. Then why are you drinking here? Oh, he was bound and determined to take us
And he
to
goes,
the
"You go
station.
downtown
You're
with
going
me."
downtown.
And we
And
go,
he
"No,
was the
no,
meanest
don't,
looking
no,
guy.
don't take us downtown. We do anything. Don't take us downtown. What can
Well,
we do?
not anything.
What can we
We're
do?
just throw her at the cops and me and my boyfriend will take off. We'll catch y'all later.
What can we do? What can we do?
Yeah.
Can we pay you? And he goes, "No, you gotta go downtown with me, pay $40. And we go, "We give you $40? He goes, "You not tell anybody you give me?" "No, we won't tell anybody we gave you $40.
We give you 80 if you have.
Yeah.
Just let us go. And we got in the car and we left. And we left Mexico.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating.
That was pretty
And
devastating.
she was in the midst of a nervous breakdown. Her counselor had even told her at one time, because I don't know, remember the thing about your friend? She was always talking about her friend, because honestly, at that point when I was in Michigan before I left, I was kind of your rock.
She was.
But I was her counselor. You know how friends are. You know, if she had a problem, she could come and talk to me about it. And her too. She was more the giver. You know, she would do things and be my friend, and I don't know, she was just always there and just a wonderful friend and help me and all that and build up my ego, because she was just like, "Oh, you're so wise," you know. She just looked up to me and I really loved it, and so, well, now she doesn't. And I'm dealing with it.
No, but not very well.
So the counselor told her either what, check in the hospital or go to California and see your friend.
And Kathy actually had been working at Knott's Berry Farm, and she said, "Jackie, if you come to see me, I'll buy you a ticket." So,
How I cut that into my drug budget.
maybe Murray paid.
Maybe he helped. I don't know.
But anyway, California was beautiful, and we stayed at Huntington Beach, and that was my first experience of swimming in the ocean. And Kathy, my wonderful friend, didn't tell me about the riptide. And I was out there swimming, and he got me, and I thought, this is the end, this is the end. And I finally came out of the water, lay down on the beach. I made it. I'm alive. Oh. And that was, I didn't even realize, but from that point on, for a long time, I was afraid of water. I truly, another time when I went skiing with some friends. I'd always been in the water. I was raised in Lake Michigan, and these people put me in the water to go skiing, and I just started screaming, "Get out of here! I need out now!" So Gary reeled me in. He was very impressed.
Yeah.
He was impressed. I think maybe I'm afraid of water.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating. The week was nice. It was nice to be there. We looked at a few things in California. I was remember too when I wanted to have her see the sunset on the ocean. And I hadn't really been to the ocean in a while. Since I had lived there. You know, when you live there, you don't go there. Right. But I wanted to take her there to experience it. So I said, let's go to Pacific Palisades, because that's really nice and cliffy and everything. So we did, and we drove. And now, it used to be you could just pull in anywhere on the beach, walk down the beach, walk along the beach. Now you can't, because it's private property, and they want to keep the, homeless people off the beaches and all this stuff. So it's changed a lot from.
But we had a home. We weren't homeless.
From beach blanket bingo days.
Why did they want to keep us off? We weren't homeless.
Yeah, well, they didn't know. So we go and we go up to the thing. We're watching the sun's going down. We're just talking about everything. Of course, it was a fence. You couldn't go down to the beach, but anyway, we're watching it. And the sun's almost hitting the ocean, and there's a speaker comes on. The park is now closed. You must leave the park now. The park is closed. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I said, "It really happened. They're closing the West Coast." Like took Paradise and put in a parking lot, like my hippie day. And I just couldn't believe that. So that was really a drag. I could have lived without knowing that the beaches have just gotten so bad. So anyway, took her back to Michigan. She went. I don't know even how many years after that. It was probably about halfway through when you came out. So she called me one time, and we were talking, and things just going. And two, I wanted to come back and visit Michigan. visit everybody. But I either had the time or I had the money. But I never had the time and the money. So now I didn't have any money, but I had the time. So she called, and she says, why don't you just come back to me? Because I said, I don't have money to visit and stuff. She said, well, why don't you just come back to live? And if you don't like it, you can move back. And it was almost like this little light bulb moment. I thought, that is what I have to do. My road is leaving. Now I'm barely working, barely have any kind of drugs. So really all the issues that I didn't really work with, I had to work with. And I was really depressed. I was really down. I had gone to one counselor one time, and I was talking about how I was feeling and trying to get beyond it and try to get turned around. And I remember him telling me or asking me, he said, well, do you have any guns in the house? I go, no. Have you ever, have you suicidal? Have you ever considered suicide? No, but by golly, that is an option. So glad you brought that up.
Planted that little seed, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Quick action here and there.
So, and it was weird because it really kind of struck me that way, because I thought, I don't want to go on another day. I can't go on another day. But I just kept having to go on another day. I mean, the earth would not open up and swallow me. And I wished that I could have just gone and had him take me to a home. But for some reason, it never happened. I just had to get up every day and keep going. So then, every day I'd wake up and I'd think, well, I'd kill myself.
And I do
I
think
think
that
I'll just go on.
I think Kathy has kind of minimized what she'd actually gone through, and I do think that it should be brought up that Jeremy was
Time for the music.
Jeremy was only 6 years old, almost 7, and he went to Texas while Kathy moved to California. He went to Texas to be with his real father while she could get a home set up for them in California.
And my daughter. I still
her
do have a daughter.
And on her birthday, July 14th, her daughter called her and said, oh my God, Mom, Jeremy drowned. So Jeremy was everything to Kathy. He was a very, very, very smart boy.
Tissue time.
Cut. He was very, very smart. And he was her whole life. Her life just wrapped around him. He lit up the room. He taught himself to read when he was 4 years old. He taught himself to read. I mean, you could put books in front of him when he was 18 months old, and he would name the Disney characters, Gucci, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. He was not just an ordinary child. And losing him really just knocked the wind right out of her. So I just feel it's important to put that in there of why she did lose so much of her life. Here. Depends on how you look at all of it.
I still got my own teeth. Go figure. I know, I've often thought, with how much I abused my body. Well, I did get a little sign at one point. When I turned 40, I said if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. I was going to live fast, die young. Here I am.
Well, one time